Hi guys, it's Graham again and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a book haul, but it's a book haul with a bit of a difference because all the books are related to true crime. True crime is one of my favourite genres. I love anything to do with true crime. The grislier the better, the more mysterious the case the better, and the more twisty and turny the case the better. I love it. So yeah, that's just... I love true crime. There you go. So the first book that I got was the Osborn True Stories, Crime and Detection by Gill Harvey. This book contains 10 stories of true crime, and it has stories about things from the John George Haigh acid bath killer from the 1940s. He dissolved his murder victims in vats of sulfuric acid. There is also the story of Dr. Harold Shipman, who killed lots of his patients and then killed himself while he was in prison, and they don't know exactly how many victims he has. It could be in the many hundreds. What other cases? None of these that I recognise apart from those two. Art, fakers, that kind of thing. I'll read you the back of the book, maybe give us more information. Are real criminals and detectives anything like the ones you see on the television or read about in novels? You can find out in these 10 exciting stories. Serial murderers, art forgers, kidnappers, robbers, runaways and forensic scientists are all here, as well as cases of real life horror that will chill you to the bone. Can't wait. I can't wait to get to that. It sounds brilliant and I'm so excited for it. The next one I'm really excited for as well. This is Crime's Strangest Cases. Extraordinary but true stories from over 5 centuries of legal history, and this is by Peter Seddon, and that's the front cover. It looks a bit like a picture that was used to illustrate the newspapers when Jack the Ripper was doing his nasty work. Despite how unbelievable the stories banged up inside these pages may seem, Crime's Strangest Cases promises to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about the most ludicrous criminal cases in legal history. Full of riotous and entertaining stories, this book is perfect for anyone who's doing time on a long stretch. Just don't try to steal it, or you may end up inside. I love that. I love that. Author Peter Seddon gives life to over 5 centuries of bizarre, macabre, and sometimes hilarious criminal cases. You'll be gripped by tales of murder, intrigue, crime, punishment, and the pursuit of justice. Inside, you'll encounter the only dead parrot ever to give evidence in a court of law. One of the most indigestible dilemmas. If you'd been shipwrecked 2,000 miles from home, would you have eaten Parker the cabin boy? The doctor with the worst bedside manner of all time. The murderess who collected money from her mummified victims for 21 years. That sounds fabulous, and I look forward to reading that. Brilliant. So the next one is Scotland's Crimes of the Century, Killers, Crooks and Cons by McKay. This sounds absolutely brilliant. This is crimes from the 20th century in Scotland, which I am from, where I am from. Killers, Crooks and Cons chronicles the astonishing crimes that horrified 20th century Scotland. Taking each decade in turn, McKay tells the true tales of the crimes that shook the nation, often the world, and these crimes will shock you still. From serial killers to armed mobsters and poisoners to cops who killed, Killers, Crooks and Cons takes you from Glasgow to Edinburgh, Aberdeen to Dundee, and from the Highlands to the borders. As well as well-known cases like the world's first serial killer, Peter Manuel, who was hanged for the murder of 7 people. Wealthy landowner Max Garvey, whose kinky parties led to his murder, and the strange case of the death of SNP activist Willie McKay. Reg McKay tells the story of many of Scotland's less well-known but equally fascinating cases, including a police showdown with armed members of the IRA, the murder of a wealthy socialite and a committed Christian who went to extraordinary lengths to cover up his part in the brutal murder of his wife. Killers, Crooks and Cons is Scotland's very own criminal record, up from a century of shame. I'm so excited. I love it. I'm so excited. The next one is another one that's based in Scotland, and it is called Hanged Until Dead by John Kellie. Men and women executed in 19th century Scotland. During the course of the 19th century, well over 200 Scots ended their lives on the gallows, convicted of offences ranging from murder at one extreme to simple theft at the other. This book tells the story of 25 such men and women, their characters, their crimes, and the consequences. John Kellie was born in Ayrshire and educated at Pinmore, Kilmarnock and Glasgow. An enthusiastic outdoorsman and freelance writer, over the years his work has found its way into a variety of magazines on both sides of the Atlantic, as well as broadsheet and tabloid newspapers. After teaching secondary school English for the best part of 3 decades, he sees the opportunity of an early exit, and he is now researching and writing full-time. Hanged Until Dead is his 3rd book. And I can't wait to get to his 3rd book, because to me that sounds thrilling and I'm excited about it. So the last book in this true crime haul, I'm ultra excited about. Victorian Murders by Jan Bondeson, or Jan Bondeson. And this just looks brilliant. This book features 56 Victorian cases of murder, covered in the sensational weekly penny journal, The Illustrated Police News, between 1867 and 1900. Some of them are famous, like the Bravo mystery of 1876, the Llangibby massacre of 1878, and the Mrs. Percy case of 1890. Others are little known, like the Acton atrocity in 1880, the Ramsgate mystery in 1893, and the Grafton Street murder of 1894. Take your ticket for the House of Horrors. And what I find quite refreshing about this book in particular is that it's Victorian Murders, but it doesn't have Jack the Ripper in it. And usually with books that are centred around true crime and murder and the Victorian era, Jack the Ripper features heavily, but not in this book, and that's refreshing. And yeah. So the cases that are in this one, the murder of Sweet Fanny Adams in 1867. That's how we get the saying Sweet F.A. Yes. What else? The Chelsea double murder, the Denham massacre. The crime of Christiana Edmonds, a Victorian scholar and murderer. The Park Lane murder. The Whitechapel Road murder. The Macclesfield murder. Horrible tragedy in Paris. The Bradford murder. The Richmond horror story. And there's more, and there's more, there's more. Oh, there's lots more. The Bradford Ripper. Oh, that's 1888, the same year as Jack the Ripper. Be interested to read that. Oh, very good. So yes, Victorian Murders by Jan Bondeson. And I'm so excited to get to that. I'm so excited to get to all of these because crime is my jam and I'm down for it. I'm there. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have so much fun doing it. Whatever you're reading, I hope you love it. Stay fabulous, be amazing, be yourself, And above all, stay safe in this crazy period in our society. Stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.